Have you avoided eating bacon for years because you were told it raises cholesterol, causes heart disease, or even leads to cancer? What if everything you've believed about bacon is actually wrong? What if bacon is not only harmless, but could even be a natural, nutritious part of your diet, especially once you're over 50? In this video, we're going to break down every major accusation bacon has faced over the years, from saturated fat and cholesterol to nitrates and cancer risk. What claims are backed by real evidence and what are just decades of fear-based messaging? And how can you enjoy the nutritional benefits of bacon while still protecting your heart health? The answers might make you rethink your entire approach to eating. For decades, saturated fat has been labeled the enemy of heart health, and bacon has been one of the most frequently cited examples. But recent research is painting a very different picture. First, the main type of fat found in bacon is not nearly as harmful as many people think. Nearly half of the fat in bacon is oleic acid, the same monounsaturated fat found in olive oil, which is widely recognized as heart healthy. The rest is natural saturated fat, which is stable at high temperatures, less prone to oxidation, and plays an important role in cell membrane stricture and hormone production. In fact, there is no clear evidence from randomized controlled trials proving that natural saturated fat from meat increases the risk of death from cardiovascular disease. A 2020 meta-analysis published in the BMJ found no strong link between saturated fat intake and mortality, stroke, or heart attack. On the contrary, replacing saturated fats with refined carbohydrates, such as white bread or breakfast cereal, may actually raise the risk of metabolic disease. If we look at traditional populations like the Inuit in the Arctic or the Maasai in Africa, they have historically consumed most of their calories from animal fat and showed low rates of heart disease until modern diets and processed foods were introduced. This suggests the real issue is not natural saturated fat itself, but rather the overall diet pattern and the rise of highly processed food consumption. In conclusion, the saturated fat in bacon, when consumed in moderation as part of a low-sugar, low-refined carb diet, is not something to fear. What's more concerning is replacing it with low-fat products loaded with sugar, starches, and artificial additives. Cholesterol in bacon has long been blamed as a major cause of atherosclerosis and stroke. However, it's important to understand that cholesterol in food does not equal cholesterol in your bloodstream. The human body, especially the liver, produces about 75% of the cholesterol needed for normal function. Only around 25% comes from food, and in most healthy individuals, when dietary cholesterol intake increases, the body compensates by reducing its own production. Numerous large studies over the past decade have shown no direct link between dietary cholesterol and the risk of heart disease. Even the American Heart Association has recently withdrawn its earlier recommendation to strictly limit dietary cholesterol. Egg yolks, organ meats, and bacon all contain cholesterol, but when consumed as part of a diet low in refined carbs and industrial oils, they do not significantly raise LDL cholesterol levels. It's also important to understand that not all LDL cholesterol is the same. The real concern lies with small, dense LDL particles, which are more likely to oxidize and stick to artery walls, not LDL in general. Diets high in sugar, refined starches, and low in healthy fats are the primary drivers of this harmful LDL type. On the other hand, a diet rich in healthy fats from foods like bacon, eggs, and unprocessed meats tends to raise the larger, less harmful form of LDL. Cholesterol is not your enemy. It's an essential building block for cell membranes, hormone production, and brain function. Cutting out all cholesterol-containing foods not only fails to make you healthier, it may actually deprive you of important nutrients like vitamins A, D, E, K, and essential fatty acids. One of the most common reasons people avoid bacon is because it often contains nitrites or nitrates, preservatives used to maintain color, enhance flavor, and extend shelf life. For decades, warnings linked nitrites to cancer, especially colorectal cancer, creating widespread fear. But modern science shows the issue isn't with nitrites themselves, but rather how they've been misunderstood and taken out of context. First, it's important to know that nitrites aren't unique to bacon. Your body produces nitrites naturally every day, and many vegetables like beets, spinach, kale, and lettuce contain far higher levels of natural nitrates than a slice of bacon. When you eat leafy greens, these nitrates convert to nitrites and then to nitric oxide, a molecule that plays a key role in lowering blood pressure and supporting heart health. So why have nitrites in bacon been considered dangerous? The concern arises when nitrites combine with protein under high heat and acidic stomach conditions, forming nitrosamines, compounds with potential cancer risks. However, in modern processing, manufacturers often add vitamin C or other antioxidants to prevent this reaction. As a result, the actual level of nitrosamines in bacon is very low, especially if it's cooked at moderate temperatures and not burned. Additionally, many bacon products today are labeled no added nitrites, meaning they use natural nitrate sources from celery or beetroot instead. While these still contain nitrates, the body's response is different, especially if the bacon isn't overcooked and isn't eaten alongside refined carbs or sugars. If you cook bacon properly, avoiding excessive crisping, preventing charring, and pairing it with leafy greens or healthy fats, the risk associated with nitrites is extremely low. And if you still have concerns, you can simply choose nitrate-free bacon, now widely available in major grocery stores. One of the most common concerns associated with bacon is its sodium content. It's true that a single slice of bacon can contain between 180 to 200 milligrams of sodium. And for people trying to manage high blood pressure or kidney issues, that number might raise red flags. However, to assess the actual impact of sodium in bacon, we need to consider it within the overall context of your diet and individual needs. First, sodium is not a toxin. It's an essential mineral that helps regulate electrolytes, nerve transmission, and stable blood pressure. The problem arises when sodium intake exceeds your physiological needs, especially when potassium intake is too low to balance it. The standard American diet is often high in processed foods loaded with sodium and low in potassium, leading to an electrolyte imbalance and increased risk of hypertension.
If you're following a low-carb or carnivore diet, you're likely avoiding processed foods, sugary drinks, and packaged fried foods. In that case, your sodium requirements may actually be higher than average to prevent fatigue, muscle cramps, or low blood pressure. That means a few slices of bacon in your daily meals will not exceed recommended limits and can even help replenish electrolytes naturally. You can also easily balance your sodium intake from other sources throughout the day if you've had bacon in the morning. For example, if your breakfast includes 3 slices of bacon with around 600 milligrams of sodium, the rest of your meals can focus on fresh vegetables, steamed fish, or unseasoned meats to help keep your total daily sodium under the general recommendation of 2,300 milligrams. If you have cardiovascular disease or high blood pressure, it's best to consult your doctor to determine your ideal sodium threshold. The most important takeaway is that you shouldn't judge a food based solely on a single nutrient like sodium. Instead, look at the bigger nutritional picture and how it fits into your overall lifestyle. If you eat bacon with leafy greens, stay well hydrated, stay active, and avoid other processed foods, the sodium from bacon is entirely manageable. One of the most serious accusations bacon has faced is that it causes cancer, particularly colorectal cancer. This concern stems from a 2015 report by the International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, a branch of the World Health Organization, WHO, which classified processed meats, including bacon, as Group 1, meaning there is sufficient evidence of carcinogenicity in humans. However, it's important to understand that this classification is based on the strength of the evidence for a link, not the size of the actual risk. To put it simply, being in Group 1 does not mean something is extremely dangerous. It just means that a connection has been observed, not how significant that risk is. Other items in Group 1 include alcohol, tobacco smoke, air pollution, and even sunlight. So the fact that bacon is in this group doesn't mean eating bacon is as harmful as smoking cigarettes. More importantly, the absolute risk increase identified by the IARC is very small. According to their data, eating about 50 grams of processed meat per day over many years may increase the relative risk of colorectal cancer by about 18%. But an 18% relative increase is not the same as an 18% absolute risk. In reality, the absolute risk only rises by about 1%, from 5% to 6%. And that number is further influenced by other factors like lifestyle, genetics, smoking, alcohol use, lack of exercise, and obesity. Additionally, the studies that support this conclusion are observational in nature, meaning they cannot prove cause and effect. People who eat a lot of processed meat may also have poor overall diets, smoke more, eat fewer vegetables, and live more sedentary lives, all of which are independent risk factors for cancer. There is no clinical trial proving that eating bacon as part of a healthy, balanced diet increases cancer risk.
If you eat bacon from quality sources, cook it without burning, and avoid pairing it with refined sugar or highly processed foods, the cancer risk is very low. On the other hand, eliminating processed meats completely may cause you to miss out on a convenient source of bioavailable protein, B vitamins, zinc, and selenium, nutrients that are essential for immunity, muscle maintenance, and nervous system function, especially in older adults. After reviewing each of the major concerns surrounding bacon, from saturated fat, cholesterol, nitrites, and sodium to cancer, you can see that most of the fear around bacon isn't rooted in strong scientific evidence. Instead, it comes largely from misunderstanding, outdated recommendations, and inaccurate media coverage. The truth is, when consumed in moderation as part of a balanced diet that includes whole, unprocessed foods, bacon can absolutely be a healthy part of your lifestyle. It provides high-quality protein, healthy fats, B vitamins, zinc, and selenium, nutrients that are especially important for older adults to maintain muscle mass, immune function, and neurological health. That said, it's still important to be thoughtful about the kind of bacon you choose and how you prepare it. Look for bacon with no added sugar, no added nitrites, and sourced from naturally raised pork. Cook it at moderate temperatures and avoid charring. Pair it with leafy greens, monounsaturated fats, and maintain regular physical activity. Most importantly, monitor your health regularly and don't let unfounded fear dictate what you put on your plate. If this video helped shift your perspective on a food that has been misunderstood for years, hit the follow button to keep receiving honest, evidence-based, and biased health information. Share this video with someone you know who was told to avoid bacon. You just might help them enjoy it again in a way that's both informed and safe.